Let's go Chiefs! Andy Reid's team is making headlines around the NFL. We're getting close to free agency, and I have something important to share with you. I'll tell you all about it in a moment, but before I go any further, make sure you've hit the like button if you believe we'll make the playoffs next season. Man, I believe that with all my heart. But we need to clean up our act and work hard. If possible, comment something like this: "Come on, Chiefs, let's make the playoffs." Big news out of Kansas City, as the Chiefs have officially brought back a familiar face to their defense. With free agency looming, one of the biggest concerns for Chiefs fans has been the potential departure of linebacker Nick Bolton. The 24-year-old has been an absolute force for this defense over the past 4 seasons, making game-winning plays and proving to be a key pillar in Steve Spagnuolo's system. Unfortunately, with his contract expiring, Bolton is expected to make a killing this offseason, and there's a very real chance he won't be in a Chiefs uniform next year. That leaves a big hole in the middle of the defense, and the Chiefs know they need to be proactive in finding reinforcements. Enter Blake Lynch. You may remember his name from Week 18 of last season, when the Chiefs played the Denver Broncos. Kansas City signed him for that game, and he made the most of his opportunity, racking up 6 tackles and a tackle for loss. But with the playoffs on the horizon, the Chiefs let him go before their postseason run. Now, he's back, and the Chiefs are giving him another chance to prove himself. Lynch is no stranger to fighting for his place in the league. Originally undrafted, he began his career with the Minnesota Vikings, where he played in 20 games over 2 seasons. During that time, he recorded 47 tackles, 2 sacks, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and even caught an interception. After his time in Minnesota, he had a brief stint with the Los Angeles Chargers last season but didn't see much action, finishing with just 4 tackles in 8 games. Now, at 27, he's back in Kansas City, hoping to earn a permanent spot on a team that's hungry to defend its title. Now, let's be clear. This signing wasn't made to replace Bolton. The Chiefs already have Leo Chenal, who has proven himself to be a strong, physical linebacker over the past 2 seasons. He's the guy most likely to step into Bolton's shoes if needed. But every successful defense needs depth, and that's where Lynch comes in. He's a low-risk addition with experience and familiarity with the system. Whether or not he makes the final roster will depend on how he performs in training camp and the preseason, but he's getting his chance. The big question now is, what's next for the Chiefs at linebacker? Bringing back Lynch is a start, but will Kansas City pursue free agency for another veteran, or will they focus on the draft? With Brett Veach running the show, we know this team is always looking to make smart moves that set them up for long-term success. So what do you think, Chiefs? Kingdom? Is bringing back Blake Lynch a good move for depth, or should Kansas City aim higher? And what do you think of Nick Bolton's potential departure? Now, we all know that the Chiefs have had a solid backup quarterback in Carson Wentz, a guy Andy Reid has spoken highly of all season. But as free agency approaches, Wentz's time in Kansas City may be coming to an end. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, the Cleveland Browns are reportedly interested in signing Wentz once free agency opens. And that has some Chiefs fans wondering, who will be Patrick Mahomes' backup in 2025? Now, let's back up a bit. Andy Reid hasn't just been heaping praise on Wentz, he's made it clear that he believes Wentz should start somewhere in this league. Before the Chiefs' Week 16 game last season, Reid said, and I quote, "He started in the league and he's been successful. He's got a great feel for this offense. He's very smart, big arm. I like the way he carries himself. I like everything about him. He should start in this league somewhere." That's some serious praise coming from Big Red. But let's be honest. When Wentz finally got his chance in Week 18 against the Broncos, it wasn't exactly a standout performance. He completed just 10 of 17 passes for 98 yards and was picked off 4 times. Not ideal. So if the Browns are looking at him as a potential starter or even a high-level backup, they should see something they can work with. Now, switching gears for a second, there's some other big news coming out of the NFL that could have an indirect impact on the Chiefs. The Philadelphia Eagles are reportedly set to release six-time Pro Bowl cornerback Darius Slay. That move, which is expected to be designated as a post-June 1st release, will save Philadelphia about $4.3 million in salary cap space. And why are they making that move? Well, they have some young stars at cornerback, including Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, who both excelled last season. With those guys on the rise, the Eagles are willing to move on from veteran Slay. And here's where it gets interesting. For the Chiefs. With free agency looming, and the Chiefs always looking for ways to bolster their secondary, could Slay be an option for Kansas City? Sure, he's 34 years old, and last season he didn't record a first-team interception since his rookie year in 2013. But we're still talking about a guy with 28 career interceptions and 160 passes defended. If the price is right, could Brett Veach and the Chiefs be interested in adding a veteran presence to this defensive backfield? Something to keep an eye on, for sure. So Chiefs Kingdom, we want to hear from you. Do you think Wentz's departure would be a huge loss for the Chiefs, or are you confident the team can find another solid backup for Mahomes? And as for Darius Slay, should Kansas City take a look at him in free agency, or should they focus their resources elsewhere? A potential blockbuster move is brewing, and it involves a reunion that would send shockwaves through the league. Could Tyreek Hill be heading back to Kansas City? Let's break it down. We all remember the magic between Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. That connection was pure energy, one of the most dangerous QBWR duos the league has ever seen. But when the Chiefs traded Hill to the Miami Dolphins, they made a tough decision, prioritizing cap space and roster flexibility. And to be fair, it worked. The Chiefs won back-to-back Super Bowls. But let's be honest, last season, Mahomes and the offense looked different. For the first time since becoming a starter, Mahomes failed to reach 4,000 passing yards. The deep ball, that electric big play ability, it just wasn't the same. Now, with free agency looming, rumors are swirling that the Chiefs are considering bringing Hill back. Clutch Point's Enzo Flojo floated the idea of a strategic trade to reunite Mahomes with his favorite deep threat. The Chiefs have some tough decisions to make around the salary cap, but one thing is clear. They need a true WR1. While Rashee Rice has shown flashes of brilliance and Travis Kelce remains a force, the offense has lacked a game-breaking speedster who can stretch defenses and open things up underneath. Even without Hill, the Chiefs made it to Super Bowl LIX. But imagine what they could do with him back in the lineup. Defenses would have to respect that speed again, safeties wouldn't be able to cheat, and Mahomes would have a familiar target who can turn any play into a touchdown. This move could make Kansas City's offense truly unstoppable again. But there's one big hurdle: Hill's contract. He signed a massive extension with Miami through 2024, $90 million over 3 years, with a sizable $28 million cap hit. That's a huge number, and if the Chiefs want to make it happen, they'll need to get creative with their cap space. Plus, Hill has sent mixed signals about his future. At one point, he hinted that he wanted out of Miami, but recently, he seemed more committed to staying. So the big question is, if the opportunity presents itself, should Kansas City go all in on bringing Hill back? It's up to you, Chiefs fans. Would you welcome Tyreek Hill back with open arms, or do you think Kansas City should focus on other areas of need? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And before you go, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you never miss a Chiefs update. This offseason is just getting started, and you won't want to miss it.